I find it hard to talk about Guys and Dolls because I feel like I don't know what I have to add to it. You know what I mean? In the discussion, it is an unusual thing for me to do. It's not an unusual thing to do Guys and Dolls at all. For me, it's really unusual. And I'll be 3,000% honest. One of the reasons I wanted to do it is that often what I do is really difficult. I'm always adapting from something not for the stage, or the things that I've done that have already been written for the stage have been operas, which are very, very difficult to do for a lot of reasons. And so I was sitting in tech of a show that was one of, like, really challenging show to do, to figure out how to put on stage. So all the characters were animals and stuff. And I literally was saying out loud, I just want to do like Guys and Dolls. That's what I want to do. And this partly came out of like this babyish bitterness of like, there's no points in the total score for degree of difficulty in the theater. And like all my colleagues are directing like these like, you know, never fail classics that everyone's like, that was so good. I just thought, I want me some of that. So, although, you know, there's always a pressure when you do something known and beloved, for sure. And for sure, I don't take for granted. A colleague, another director, also said to me, watch out, that show is booby-trapped. And I have yet to find out what that means, but I believe him. But anyway, I was sitting in this tech, and I was saying, like, I just want to do something like Guys and Dolls, which is the kind of musical that I myself love. I don't think I'm very sophisticated musically, and I like old book musicals. I'm not so fond of sung-through musicals where the music has to bear the weight of, you know, pass the salt, you know, and where the numbers are really numbers as distinct from the book scenes. I like that. You know, I was on the crew in high school of Guys and Dolls and things like that. So I was saying that out loud, and I continued saying that out loud when I met up with my cast for Whitesnake at the McCarter Theater, which was, I think, stop number 3 or 4 on our 7 theater. The next thing I do is go down to San Diego for number 7 of Whitesnake, that was born here, and from Bill's idea, actually. And so I carried that energy into my next rehearsal process. And then, like, a month and a half later, I get this email from Bill that's like, I have this crazy idea. Would you ever think of doing Guys and Dolls? And I was like, God, that Bill Rausch, what perspicacity, it's kismet. So then I was telling that, so then I met up with Emily, Sophia Knapp, and Gina in New York when they were there for All the Way with Bill, and I was telling the exact same story I was just telling to you, and they started to look like this at each other. And Gina said, tell her. And Emily said, well, I told Bill that you'd said that in text. So that's how I came to do Guys and Dolls. And I'll just wait till if you want to ask a question or anything. The cast is unbelievable. So many of them are right in the center of their sweet spot. Tony DeBruno as Harry the Horse, who's like our craps expert. He's like, no, that's not what you do. The marker goes down first, and then it's, you know, like he knows everything. And David Kelly as Benny Southstreet. All those guys, you know, they just so know what they're doing in that world. And everyone, Kate Herster as Sarah is unbelievable, and she's never sung a lead in a musical before, which is unbelievable, you'll think when you see her. And just down the row, they're all sort of where they should be in the show, and we've really had a great, easeful time with it. Not to say, you know, in the theater it's such a horse race. But we're doing, you know, it's been what I wanted it to be, which is not the kind of like super difficult struggle just to make the show. That my process, which is writing the show as I go for the last however many decades, has been. I needed something that I felt from day one had a reasonable chance of being pleasing to the audience. Instead of not knowing anything.